Welcome, everyone, once again to another episode of the NOC.
The knock.
Knock.
I would call that the knock.
Nerd out.
Cast.
Patient breath into the cast.
Wow.
Gets better every week.
Yes.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Fantastical.
Great.
Fantastic.
Pretty good. Great.
Everybody have a good weekend?
Yeah.
Yes. No.
Anybody do anything fun?
No.
I did.
No.
Played paintball.
How'd that go?
Pretty good.
Did you get
I'm
shot?
sore. Oh, yeah.
Now, did the paintballs bounce off you, or did they actually explode on impact?
This one bounced off.
Oh, that's so cool. I want to go paintballing.
Paintball's fun.
Is it?
So much
I want to
fun.
do it.
No, yeah.
It's a blast.
What you do, Stevie?
The
I
paintballs
didn't do
went,
anything.
they had them turned up to going 285 feet per second.
Oh, that's
Yep.
nice.
That's close to, yeah.
Yeah, it's close to death.
Yeah. I think competitively, isn't it like it has to be kept under 300 feet
Yeah.
per second?
Yeah.
Did you sign a waiver as if I die, you're not to blame, or no? There's no waiver signed like that.
I signed it, but I didn't read it.
Oh,
Yeah.
They've got your social security number.
so
and
you didn't realize they took an insurance policy out on you.
Yeah.
They want you to die.
Yeah.
They've drained your 401k now.
That's great.
You
know what I did?
What'd you do, Rick?
Remember that table that I built a few podcasts ago?
Yes, I remember that one.
I don't like it anymore. So I built another one out of black iron pipe.
Wow.
It's so cool. I'm going to post it on the NOC like I did the other one. And my phone caught on fire.
Wow.
And your phone caught on fire.
Yeah, my phone
Was
caught
it
on
like
fire.
was it in your pocket when it caught on fire?
No, I think the charger fell inside my coffee. So when I plugged it in, it created whatever, and I heard it sizzling. Like,
oh, my gosh.
like when you go to Casa Brava and they bring that plate out,
Yeah.
and they go, "Here you go, lady," and it goes.
They call you lady?
They call you lady?
They call you
No,
lady?
they used to call. Anyways,
Okay.
so yeah, so I heard my phone sizzling.
With no cheese on it.
Yeah, no, and then I look at it, and it was like smoking. And then he went on home with the Lord.
What is did you rupture the battery? Is that what happened here?
No, just the charge port is fried now. It was like on fire. They were like, it was sizzling.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Something else happened.
What?
Real quick.
Go ahead.
I had a battle.
You had a battle.
I had a battle with my inner female.
Hey, knowing is half the battle.
And she won.
Okay.
I got Pinterest.
Really?
Whoa,
I'm
come
serious.
on.
And
It's official.
Get out.
yes.
Yeah.
I do too,
It's
man.
so awesome. You do too, for real?
I do.
I've been battling
Wow.
this for years.
I do. I have a
I
Star
have
Wars
one
board.
that I never
and
use.
Dude, it's so awesome.
I even have a
man.
recipe board.
You got everybody at this table has a Pinterest account,
Yes.
Yeah.
but me.
It
Yeah.
has like cool DIY stuff on there.
Yeah, it
I built
does.
some
There's
things
a
off
lot
there.
of cool Star Wars
Yeah.
stuff on there.
The Star Wars stuff is
How to build
so
a
cool.
lightsaber.
It is.
Really?
Yeah, custom.
Man.
It's on there. I mean, cool stuff. Music stuff has great stuff for music. If you're musical,
Well,
charts, tabs, all kinds of stuff like that.
That's kind of cool.
yeah. That's I'm done. That's it.
That's it.
So we're all
Well, we haven't introduced
we're all
ourselves.
out of the closet.
Man,
I
I
man,
almost said that a while ago.
it's so cool.
Yeah. Hey, I was probably within 150 feet of a tree that got struck by lightning early Saturday morning.
Oh, that's cool.
Were you camping?
Yeah, we were camping, and what sounded like a cannon going off about 3 feet from my head
Oh, man.
woke everybody up. But you could, it's one of those booms that just shakes
Yeah.
your bones.
I heard a couple here.
Yeah. Well, we got up and earlier that morning and found the tree that it struck. It was about 150 feet from us. There's bark everywhere, but it was just a thin line of no bark going all the way down to the roots from the top. And it wasn't the tallest tree, and it wasn't the biggest tree. It's like the lightning had to kind of go through some limbs to find that little guy. I don't get that. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, that was pretty cool. I probably lost 5 years off my life.
Yeah,
But
you spent some.
it's worth it. Totally worth it. Let's go around the table right quick and see who we actually have here this week. To my left would be... No, wait. To my right would be...
Scaff, Ginger Ninja.
Steve.
Ricardo, el que saca la basura.
What?
That means
AKA
the guy that takes out the trash.
The trash man.
That would be the trash man.
I will take
Taking
care
out the
of your
trash. It
garbage.
is trash day.
I don't do garbage. Just
It is trash
for
day.
everybody to know. I only do trash.
So what is the true definition between trash and garbage?
Garbage is like your onion peels and all that. Trash is like your paper.
The stuff you don't want.
Oh,
Yeah.
stuff you can set on fire.
Never even thought about that.
Like your phone.
Yes, yeah.
Like your phone.
Like my phone. I cannot believe that actually happened.
Neither can I.
That's crazy.
You know, usually technology is so,
Yeah.
But
safe.
it did.
Sometimes
The trash
it's
part
fickle.
Did fall in my coffee.
Fickle technology.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's ficklish.
A little ficklish. And Shannon Tech. Glad everybody could...
Shannon
Shannon Tech.
What?
Glad everybody could join in
This week we're
once
taking out
again.
the vowels.
Let's see. This should be downloading to your electronic device on May 2nd, 2017.
It's me.
As everybody's probably figured out by now, this is going to be our new release date, Tuesday mornings. Give you
Yeah.
something to listen to on your way to
Yeah,
work,
just one more day.
Damn.
or working
Just
out,
gotta
or
wait one more.
watching TV, whatever. So let's go ahead and jump right into.
You know, it's a good
Okay.
release day because that's when movies come
Yeah.
out.
That is true.
Yeah, and we're just as anticipated. as
Yeah,
some of those.
movies on Blu-ray,
I would-
video games,
I would agree with that.
books, they come out on Tuesdays.
Yeah, everybody lines up at the library to get that
Exactly.
new Garfield book.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do.
Are you doing certified fresh news?
What do you think, Rick?
My phone went off.
Okay.
Certified fresh news.
Gotta wait for the drums to come in.
The professional fade.
Awesome.
Okay, so
It's getting better every week.
I played that myself, just letting y'all know.
What you got, Rick?
Hey, you hear about Fast and the Furious already went over $1 billion?
Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
That's ridiculous, man.
Ridiculous.
Bill,
movie.
yeah.
I'm telling you guys,
Hey, and
it's a
don't
good
forget,
movie.
don't forget what movie comes out this week.
What movie would that
I
be?
forgot.
Guess what comes out this week?
JOTG 2.
Booyah! Woo!
The Lovers?
Guardians.
Hey,
It could be called that.
guess who might be back for the Doctor Who Christmas special this year?
Better be Matt Smith.
No.
Matt Smith.
No, guess.
David Tennant.
No,
Eccleston.
no. It's a companion.
Amy Pond.
No,
Rory.
no,
The blonde from the first one.
Yeah.
no,
Piper.
no.
Clara.
Clara, yes.
She's one of the best.
She
should be
may
back.
or may not be
Jenna
back.
Coleman.
She should have stayed on
She really
for one
should
more
have.
season.
She was like, she fit all the requirements to be a companion.
She was
And
And
her-
her,
sassy.
and her chemistry with PK.
Wait, are you guys talking about the
fantastic.
same one?
Clara.
Clara. Yeah, with
Jenna
Pika.
Coleman.
Jenna Coleman.
Yeah.
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 Well, you don't
She's
like her?
sassy. She's strong-willed.
Yeah, she
she's
was good.
She's compact. You can almost like put her in your pocket.
Yeah.
My favorite, believe it or not, was Donna. I wanted to see.
Donna was good.
Donna.
She's my favorite.
Donna
Yeah.
was good.
That's
From
the
The
one I was
Office.
thinking. That's who I thought you were
Oh.
talking
I would have
about.
loved
was
seeing
Donna.
her with
Donna's
P-Cap.
good though.
That would have been awesome. But anyways,
and
I-
this and PCAP. This is his last, right?
Yeah.
This is his
Yes.
last
this-
go around.
That's it.
Okay.
No, I got the best news
Okay.
for men out there.
For men.
For men,
Okay.
For men.
May 23rd, you can download John Wick 2.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Bam!
Shannon
And
can finally see it.
I am excited.
And then you can buy the copy June 13th. So, yeah, I'm excited. If they have a box set, I am buying it.
Okay.
And I usually don't buy. Anyways, up to you, Steven.
Steven.
Steve.
Steven. Wow. Okay.
Steven.
I have one here for CFN.
If you call him Steven, you have to call him the
What?
Reverend.
then
The Rev.
the Rev.
Sorry, Rev.
The Rev. And then I'm gonna do one here. Then I'm gonna save one for random
I have so many.
later. We know. This one is Palmstar Media has optioned the film rights to Mary Doria Russell's 2 books on a gunslinger, Doc Holliday, with Jeremy Renner
There we
slated
go.
to star.
I saw this.
You have the novels Doc and Epitaph chronicled life of John Henry Holliday, and so it's going to be all about that. I think that's cool.
That's
Yes.
very cool.
I'm pumped about that. I
You
don't
know-
know why, but I like Jeremy Renner.
I do too.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I will watch most of most anything that he's in.
Is it because he's so dry? I mean, he's not like he's funny. He doesn't even really have that leading man type.
No.
But I mean,
But he's good.
I like him.
Me too.
Yeah. I liked him in the Mission Impossible movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that he won't be. I don't think he's in the next one.
I haven't heard.
Henry,
Soups.
Superman is, but no Jeremy Renner. I don't think.
What? Soups is in the next?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna be wearing the
As
black suit.
Superman?
Alec Baldwin made it into the next Mission Impossible, but not Jeremy Renner.
You know, as much as I
As far
like
as we know.
Alec Baldwin.
He's sitting pretty with baby boss right now.
He's one of those guys that he cracks me up. I think he's a great actor.
Boss
Oh,
baby.
yeah.
But I bet he's
What did I say,
just,
baby boss?
Baby boss.
That's a rapper.
That's what I
What
said.
up, baby boss?
I get the feeling that he is not a nice man in person.
No.
I
I've seen
get
some
that feeling,
clips
too.
of him online. You can look him up.
I've heard a couple of rants
Oh,
he's
man,
done. And
He's great in Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. Oh yeah, that's what started.
yeah.
My respect for him.
You know what my
That's true.
favorite scene in Beetlejuice is?
What's
my
that?
favorite scene in Beetlejuice is when that brick door opens. I don't know why.
Not when he kicks the tree and says "nice model."
No. Yeah, I
Honk, honk.
remember. Pop, pop. Yeah. But when that
Ooh.
brick door opens, you know,
Here
when
I
they,
come, baby.
when they open that brick door,
Oh, that part's good too.
oh, I love that. And they go inside that. Okay. Off to you, Steven. The
Well,
Rivers.
hey.
That's all I had. I just
Oh.
I just want to throw in there that Doc Holliday news since we were talking about westerns not
Oh, there you
too
go.
long ago. So
Oh, sorry about
now,
that.
we start the time limit for Scalf.
Scalf, you have 10 minutes from
Now.
Do you have
now.
anything, Shannon?
He's going to shit that.
Do you want me to go
That
first?
tells you.
Oh, man.
That tells you how long this is going to be.
Where's the timer?
Whenever he skips himself to say, "Hey, let's get all the rest out of the way."
We're in trouble. No, I was going to bring up
Wow.
Aquaman started
The
filming.
one might bring up some discussion. I don't know. We'll see.
This last week, Aquaman began filming in the little town of
Milwaukee.
there's in Atlantis. It's filming in Atlantis. Let's see.
Is that on the new continent?
Yeah, it
In
is.
Zealandia.
Zealandia, right next to it.
I love
Zealandia.
Zealandia.
You can
Zealandia.
hop and skip right
Yeah.
next to
Yeah.
Old Zealand from there. I'm just kind of I'm just impressed that they're actually they're hitting go on this. I kind of thought they would
Yeah.
postpone.
I'm using
postpone.
a quote from the director later on in our podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Also, there's a. You guys read this about the black and white version of
Yeah,
Logan?
I did see that. That's
Why?
pretty cool.
What am I missing?
Oh, I don't know. Do you
Because
watch-
I've not seen
because
it.
Or did
It's
you
got
watch
that-
it?
Yeah, I haven't
okay.
seen Logan.
Okay, then.
So,
Yeah.
is black and white going to give it a more of an artistic feel? I mean, that's normally what
It'll give it like
happens.
an old western
Probably.
feel.
That'd be cool.
Now, what would be cool is if everything was in black and white and the blood was in red.
Ah, my mouth watered. That is an
Oh,
awesome idea.
My
Sin
goodness,
City 3.
that is brilliant.
That's a good idea.
Anyway,
Especially if you're a dude.
let's see. That's going to be coming out. When
And
is
his
that coming out?
claws were orange. That'd be great.
It's being re-released May 16th. It looks like it's basically just the same film. It's just going to be
White.
shown in the monochrome, and everybody will love it. Let's see. Next, by the way, Adrian Peterson did sign. We do watch sports around
Yes,
here, by
I
the
do.
way.
Yeah, I
We're
do.
not all
Rick
just
watches
about
soccer.
toys and video games.
No, it's football.
It's football.
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 So Adrian Peterson did sign
Football.
with the Saints. So he's going to New Orleans, and guess what? New Orleans' first game of the year against the Vikings. So that should be kind of fun.
That should
And,
be fun.
This is real short and simple. Shania Twain is awesome.
What?
I just wrote that down the other day.
Why is that?
Were you listening to her music?
I
or
haven't in years.
You-
But she's on a show now.
something?
Is it The Voice? She's like a
Oh, like a
judge or
judge?
something. And I saw her the other day, and so I'd forgotten how much I'd listened to all her stuff, kind of like back in the '90s when she
Yeah, she's
exploded.
huge.
And I started pulling up
Huge.
her album sales and all that stuff, and I knew she was like it exploded and went crazy, but she is the #1 selling female artist of all
Yeah.
time.
Is she really?
with one album.
And you want to know what?
What's that?
What?
Her first big album, she broke even.
Seriously?
No way.
That was just, when I lived in Nashville. That was one of the stories, to kind of show you how much it takes to actually make money. Her album sales
Yeah.
broke even with the cost of the record and marketing. So she made money off her tour, but
Jeez.
she barely made any money off her first album, the big one.
A lot of
That's
artists
crazy.
want
Yeah,
money.
'cause that one went crazy on sales,
Yeah.
and I've heard Jim Gaffigan say that now. Now everything's went digital, and he sells his comedy albums for like $5, like on his own website,
Yeah.
and says he makes like 5 times the amount of money now than what he used to when he was selling CDs for like
like
$18.
Streaming, for STB stuff when we stream, I mean, we get a decent amount of streams every month, and we get like 0.01 cents
Wow.
per stream.
I've noticed that. I've been getting two creams in my coffee here lately.
It is, it's crazy.
But okay, I'm done.
STV
Scalf.
is Steve Terry band. It's
Yeah.
multi-aluminum.
It's not a
selling
disease or
album.
anything
No,
like some
no.
people think.
No, although you should be addicted to it.
Our first album went multi-Teflon.
Wow.
Our
All
first
right.
album went wood.
All right.
Wood is the first. It sold 10 copies.
Went plastic.
Scalf, do
We
you,
ain't even got up to plastic yet.
do you want a drum roll?
Actually, it went dirt.
No.
Can I do stuff
He
while you're
wants to
doing
do
this?
it, yeah.
Yeah, I got to study for next segment.
Well,
Go ahead.
here's the thing, Shannon. This one kind of pertains to me and you.
Okay, Ricky, let's go outside.
You and I.
So
Oh, I'm so glad you got him on that. Oh, that's good.
At least
I
once
do
a
that-
week.
I do that to people all
Actually-
the time.
it should be you and me
Why?
because I would say it pertains to me. So I should say you and me.
No, I'd say it pertains to I.
No.
I don't know.
Another
I
discussion.
don't know. I think
Let's
it's
ask the
catching
Puerto
up.
All right.
Rican about the proper English.
Okay, so
love
this
grammar.
comes from IGN.com. Call of Duty World War II is launching on November 3rd for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Where's my coffee?
The release date was revealed alongside a full trailer during a worldwide
You going
reveal
to Starbucks?
live stream. This year's entry in the shooter franchise follows the U.S. 1st Infantry Division as they fight their way through the European theater of the war. Missions include the D-Day invasion of Normandy and Battle of the Bulge. Although you primarily play as the young, inexperienced Private Daniels in the single player,
You die in the first
there
level.
will also be a mission that casts you as a woman fighting in the French Resistance. A full multiplayer reveal is slated for E3 in June. As for co-op, little was shared, but it will apparently take the form of a new and original story featuring zombies.
Zombies.
Yep. Also from the leaks, Activision confirmed that a beta will be available ahead of launch, but they haven't set a date yet. Finally, Transformers actor Josh Duhamel is confirmed to appear in Call of Duty World War II as
Duhamel.
Duhamel. Call of Duty World War II as Technical Sergeant William Pearson, a 34-year-old from Oklahoma. Pro Edition that surfaced in leaks will be exclusive to GameStop, at least in the U.S., will cost $100.
Winning.
Okay. This one also comes from IGN. First Call of Duty World War II multiplayer details revealed. Co-op Nazi zombies mode teased. Most gameplay specifics are under wraps for now. Activision did hint at a new mode called War Mode that will
All right.
let players take part in famous historic World War II battles with different objectives for each team depending on whether you're the Allies or the Axis.
You are a huge nerd.
Oh, that's so good.
Fortunately, I couldn't hear that, actually.
Oh, you gotta add that one in there, Jake.
Instead of character classes, players will now have divisions. Divisions will include infantry and armored options.
Timing's everything.
Between matches, players will hang out in headquarters, a robust social space that sounds similar in concept to the Tower in Destiny.
Is this part of the premiere thing?
The premiere.
Oh, never mind. I'm lost.
What do you mean? What are you lost about?
It's Call of Duty, right?
Yes.
But is this the one that you have to like buy all the extra? You buy the game, then you have to get all the extra stuff. No,
Is
Well,
this
I mean, it's
Call
like
of Duty White Ops?
it's like Battlefield.
White Ops.
where you've got DLC and stuff later on. Okay, this is for everybody. M. Night Shyamalan reveals major characters returning for Split Unbreakable sequel. Acclaimed director... I forget where this came from. Acclaimed director M. Night Shyamalan took over Twitter Wednesday morning as he released a string of important announcements regarding his next film. Among them, he revealed that many of his classic characters from both Unbreakable and Split would return for the new movie. Shyamalan began by announcing that his new film is called Glass, and that it will serve as both a sequel to Split as well as Unbreakable.
Glass?
Yeah.
If you recall, Split's shock ending tied the two movies together.
Sam Jack?
Yep.
Oh.
Yes. Glass will
I've not
hit
heard
theaters on
about
January 18th, 2019, with a script that Shyamalan just completed. He said the movie is the collision of both previous films,
Yes.
and it's...
Shattered glass.
Wow, he's worse than I am with the sound effects.
And it sounds like a thrill ride waiting to happen.
Oh, it does.
The biggest reveals, however, were the announcements that 4 of Shyamalan's major characters, 2 from Split, 2 from Unbreakable, have already been confirmed to appear in Glass.
Yes.
So you've got Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson from Unbreakable, and then McAvoy and the girl from Split.
Yep.
That's going to be cool.
They're going to be in
Oh, I love
Glass.
it. I love it. The more I hear about it, the more excited
I love
get.
the name.
Glass. I know. It's so cool.
It's great.
And that Sam Jack's back. Oh, man.
I can't hear that very well, just so you know.
Oh, it's not coming through?
No, not very well.
Oh, man.
Still not coming through very well. All right. This is another one for everybody. I think this came from Comic Book. Masters of the Universe movie release date revealed. Sony Pictures has added the film to its most updated release calendar with a projected release date of December 18th, 2019. The film will be directed by McG.
Sorry.
You guys are playing way too many noises.
Quit it, Rick.
I hit that one on accident.
All right. The film will be directed by McG from Charlie's Angels,
But
This Means
actually-
War, and Terminator Salvation.
That's been that's been updated.
Oh, has it?
McGee's out,
Oh, he is. Okay.
which is a good thing, in my opinion.
This was just this article was written today.
Yeah, there's another one on different side that says McGee has been ousted.
Okay.
Yeah,
Things happen
Never
quick.
mind. We
He
don't
gone.
have a director.
he gone.
Well, who would be a good fill-in for him?
Well, because McGee wanted Kellen Lutz, the guy who was in the Twilight movies, who was in the horrible Hercules movie.
Never saw it.
Oh, yeah.
That's who he wanted. And, McGee, his track record is awful.
Not very good.
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
So,
But
Who would
I
we-
I am excited about that film, though.
Could you slide in like a...
And the writers, did that have the writers too? Because, yeah. Here it is from Entertainment Weekly 5 days ago. McGee no longer directing Masters of the Universe.
I don't see anything.
David Goyer. Batman Begins, Man of Steel. Yeah.
He did Man of Steel?
Batman Begins and Man of Steel.
He
David.
wrote them, right?
Yeah, wrote them.
Oh, okay.
So let's do a Dreamcast real quick of who we want to see direct that movie.
Josh
Mel
Trank.
Gibson.
No.
No. No, just kidding. That was a nightmare cast.
Well, because it has to be sci-fi and fantasy. Because He-Man's both.
Yeah.
Because it's a land. Eternia is a land ravaged by technology.
Peter Jackson.
So it has to have fantastical elements and
Wow.
and
Yeah, maybe.
I already have the guy for the movie.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo, yeah.
Scalf?
Guillermo would make it so cool, yeah.
That's the only guy I
Smashed
can
him.
think of, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. Because of Hellboy.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Heck, boy.
Hey, who did Fifth Element?
Luke Besson.
He should do that too.
That's the best. Yeah.
All right. Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is outselling Avengers Age of Ultron in advance tickets.
Yep.
What?
The writing was written on the wall long ago that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 would surpass the surprising box office numbers of its predecessor, but now it's looking like the Marvel Studios breakout might dethrone their Earth-based franchise. James Gunn's cosmic sequel already had an amazing opening weekend in the international markets and looks to build off of that momentum when it opens domestically, where advance ticket sales are already beating Avengers Age of Ultron. GOTG 2 has been the number one ticket seller on Fandango every day since it went on sale and has surpassed the advanced sales of the Avengers sequel, according to Deadline.
Yeah.
Could the latest Guardians movie beat out its fellow Marvel Studios sequel, which was the fourth best domestic opening in history with $191.3 million? It's certainly
not bad.
possible. So yeah, it's already outselling Age of Ultron.
You know, since we're sitting here talking about this, there's two people at this desk that already appreciated Chris Pratt well before he became famous.
Oh yeah.
And now we have a third person, I think, that has jumped on board and has started watching.
Yes.
What's the name of the detective?
Burt Macklin. How far have you got into the series?
I am almost through season 2.
We're talking about Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I fell in the pit.
Now, see, I liked first time I saw Chris Pratt, and I thought he such a small role, but in the Vince Vaughn movie, what's it called? Delivery Man, where he fathers
Yeah.
tons of children and didn't know it.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, he knew it, but I can't really go into.
Sure.
But Chris Pratt is in that as the guy he gets advice from, and he's so funny in that. I mean, he's not in that much, but he's so funny.
I need to watch that movie.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Pratt was hired for 6 episodes of Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
And
Just 6?
Yeah, he's a guest. Yeah, he guest starring Chris Pratt at the end of the first.
Yeah.
Six
I mean,
episodes.
he was a boyfriend to one of the characters, and he would be gone after 6, and after 6 episodes, they knew they couldn't get rid of him, so they actually wrote him in with another character. So
he is hilarious. Actually, so far through the second season, there's no character that I do not like.
They're all great.
Okay, you guys.
I mean,
probably talked.
I'm not a real big fan of Amy, but
she's so funny.
but she's hilarious in that show.
She's passionate, man.
I know. I mean,
I love
she
it.
plays it so well. The chick that was in the office for a little bit was Jim's.
yes.
She's great in it. I forget all the rest of the actors' names, but they're all good.
Aziz
Ron Swan,
Ansari.
yeah.
April Lucky.
Yeah.
That's this one.
Ron Swanson is hilarious.
Ron Swanson should be our
Oh
president.
my gosh, the hunting episode, season 2.
Is that where he got shot?
Yes.
Gets shot in the head.
And at the very end of the episode, they're preparing the birds that they shot. And he turns around, and you can see his head. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Have you been introduced to John Ralphio yet? Jean Ralphio?
He cracks me up.
There's so many
Yes.
little characters.
Is that the one that is the assistant to Ron?
No, that's the
No.
skinny Italian guy.
Yeah.
That's
What's
actually,
that guy?
That's Oh, it's Aziz Ansari.
Oh man.
What is his name?
Yeah, Tom
Blanc.
goes out.
Oh, Tom Haverford.
He goes out and looks for Ron's assistant.
Yeah. Well,
He
he
has that guy who comes in for five seconds,
Yeah.
or in
does-
that episode.
does a terrible.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
interview.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
yeah, because he tells him to leave, and he
Yeah.
that's
He's
right.
like, good. The door's over
Yeah,
here. I'll just
yeah.
see myself out.
Yeah.
And
Hey, what's the other Ron? It was
Ron Dunn. Yeah. Anyway, it's a really good series. It's
Oh,
it's
it's
all on
hilarious.
Netflix.
It's hilarious.
Go check it out. It was definitely
It's worth it.
not appreciated when it was on.
No, it was not.
Um,
Man alive.
Yeah, I didn't watch it till about season.
I avoided
2 or
it because
3.
it to me was The Office.
Yes, that's why I
Rip
avoided
off.
it.
and that's why it almost got canceled in the first season because it followed The Office
Yeah.
and resembled The Office, and The Office was at its heyday. So I mean, a lot of people just kind of viewed it. I know I did. I didn't give it a shot till it was probably halfway through season 2. I started watching it and kind
Oh,
of fell
that's
in love with it.
funny.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Scalf. You are only a 10% through your CFN.
No, I'm almost done.
Oh, okay. Well, continue.
Star Wars Episode 9 release date revealed. Disney just announced the release date for the Star Wars Episode 9 from Lucasfilm director Colin Trevorrow's installment in the long-running series and the follow-up to Star Wars The Last Jedi. The movie will release on May 24th, 2019.
Woohoo!
And will cap off the latest trilogy of films, intending to put a thematic end to the stories of Rey, Finn, Poe, and Kylo Ren in the battle between the Resistance and the First Order. This shift in release dates marks Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi as the final Star Wars movie to be released during the holiday season. Delays and reshoots...
They're weed whacking down there.
Oh. Delays and reshoots during the productions of both The Force Awakens and Rogue One...
That's not a weed whacker.
Star Wars Story caused their release dates to be shifted from May back into December, which also affected the production of The Last Jedi. All of the original Star Wars films released in May prior to Disney purchasing Lucasfilm. The fact that they are returning to the original schedule is yet another tradition the new regime is upholding.
Man, that's really exciting for me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
So excited.
I'm all for it.
When does post-production? When does principal photography start?
This year, I think. For the next one, for episode 9?
9.
Yeah, I think it starts this year.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, and then they'll start on the Obi-Wan.
Is that
Maybe.
confirmed? That's not confirmed.
Yeah,
We got
it's
messages.
Man, I hope
How
so
about-
bad. Jacob knows my passion for that film.
Or
That'd be
I should
great,
say the Ahsoka standalone movie.
I'm on board for that one too.
I would be too.
I would watch that one.
Ahsoka lives.
Yeah.
All right. Dude, she is such a cool character. I don't know what do you not like about her?
I don't know her.
Exactly.
He's never watched the
You got to watch
cartoon.
Clone Wars.
Well, it's
Like
like
she
you
was
could-
cool in Clone Wars, but in Rebels she's on another level.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's on
if you tell
another
me you're going to
level.
make a movie about Carl the Jedi, I mean, I'll probably go watch it.
This is
but I don't know anything
Anakin's.
about Carl.
This is Anakin's Padawan.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, she gave him a run for his money on that battle on Rebels.
Yeah, she did.
Man, I actually know who she is because
She
she's on the video
went
game.
toe to toe with Darth Vader,
Yeah.
like full blown Darth Vader.
Ah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Ah.
With
For
her
real.
lightsabers.
Okay.
2 lightsabers.
She was holding them like a Starkiller style.
Backwards.
Yep.
And
All
they
right.
flipped out.
Rick, you're going to like this. New Star Wars book dives deep into history of the Force. Lucasfilm and Disney appear to be delving deep into some of George Lucas's discarded lore from the original Star Wars movie as evidenced by an impending book release. So this book actually releases tomorrow.
Rick won't like this because he doesn't read.
Yeah.
He's going to
I
like...
can read it to you.
But I
gonna
like,
like the-
I like
I'll
the
read
point
it.
of it.
I don't
he
read
likes
either.
the idea behind it.
You can read it and tell me about it.
Yeah, I will.
Well, it's a
Like-
middle grade novel. So it's
I can pantomime it to you.
kind of for your daughter's age. Greg Rucka's forthcoming middle grade novel, Guardians of the Whills, focuses on Rogue One, a Star Wars story characters Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus. Will explore a different aspect of the Force not previously seen on film but has been heavily hinted at in the movies. The new book will include excerpts from a collection curated by a new character, Kozim Pell, referred to as Disciple of the Whills, hinting that a greater balance between the light and dark sides of the Force could be explored in future films as we previously theorized. Reddit user Dream Jacket managed to get a copy of the book ahead of its release this Tuesday, tomorrow, or today if you're listening to today, and took photos of the included excerpts, which is part of an in-story work called Collected Poems, Prayers, and Meditations on the Force.
Huh.
Guardians of the Whills will show Baze and Chirrut's time before the events of Rogue One when they protect the ancient temple located on Jeddah, where the Empire is seen harvesting kyber crystals to power their Death Star. The title itself is proof that Lucasfilm Story Group is using the once discarded concept from Lucas himself, in which the Whills were an ancient race who conveyed the now ancient story of Star Wars to Lucas, effectively making it a storytelling device. But recent uses of it hint that the Whills had a different knowledge of the Force than what we see from the Jedi or the Sith, It tends to emphasize a balance between the two. This was further hinted at in the first teaser for Star Wars The Last Jedi, in which Rey examines some ancient text with a logo of the old Jedi Order, coupled with Luke Skywalker's declaration that the time of the Jedi must end. We might be seeing the roots begin to take hold of a whole new aspect of Force wielders in the Star Wars universe. So here's the synopsis for Guardians of the Whills. Baze and Chirrut used to be Guardians of the Whills who looked after the Kyber Temple on Jedha and those who worshipped there. Then the Empire came and took over the planet. The temple was destroyed and the people scattered. Now Baze and Chirrut do what they can to resist the Empire and protect the people of Jedha, but it never seems to be enough. When a man named Saw Gerrera arrives with ground plans to take down the Empire, it seems like the perfect way for Baze and Chirrut to make a real difference and help the people of Jedha. But will it come at too great a cost?
Hey,
Dun dun dun.
I like them three.
You like what?
I like them three guys. Saw and Chirrut.
I'll probably read some of that.
So I'm going to bring up some of the excerpts from the book because they've actually got the Sith code. So the Sith code is now canon. So let me pull these up real quick. All right. So that which surrounds us binds us. In our connection to one, all is connected. This is the truth of the Force. No more, no less. Life binds the living. That which rises must fall, and that which falls must rise. From the first breath of the infant to the last breath of the aged, we are one together. From collected poems, prayers, and meditations of the Force, edited by Kozim Pell, disciple of the Whills. So you can go through all of these images, and you can see all of the different excerpts. The Force is with me, and I am one with the Force, and I fear nothing because all is as the Force wills it. Let me find the Sith. Where you see darkness, I see stars. Here's the code of the Sith. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. So that's there's a few of the here's the Jedi code. So the Jedi code is now officially canon. There is no emotion, there is peace. There is no ignorance, there is knowledge. There is no passion, there is serenity. There is no chaos, there is harmony. There is no death, there is the Force. So yeah, it's bringing some stuff from the old EU, bringing it back to canon. So kind of cool.
I dig it.
I think it's cool.
That's not Star Wars.
It's not.
You thought it was going to be a BB-8?
I thought it was.
Bully.
That's all I got. I told you it was a lot.
There's a little bit. You've had more though.
Yeah, you have. You have.
A little bit more. Weekend box office real quick. We didn't go over that. Number one, once again, guess.
Baby Boss.
No.
Fate of the Furious.
Fate of the Furious.
Fate
Still
8.
number one. Brought in about another 20 mil. Followed by How to Be a Latin Lover. And then third
really,
one,
there's nothing out right now.
No, there's
too,
not.
So
well, The Circle came out. That's Tom Hanks.
that bomb.
Yeah,
I've
bombed.
heard that bombed.
That
Big
got
time.
5th place with a whopping $9 million.
And a horrible Rotten Tomato score.
I think I saw somewhere that somebody said it doesn't even know what it's against. Like the whole story, just doesn't make sense from
But
what I heard.
it has Hermione Granger in it. It's kind of funny because Hermione's got 2 movies out right now, Beauty and the Beast and The Circle, and they're right next to each other. And one has made $480 million, and one has made $9 million. But
How much did it cost, does it say?
18. I mean, it's a low budget. I mean, they didn't spend a whole lot of money on it.
17 of it was getting Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, yeah.
He's the best, though.
Yeah.
He's had some stinkers, though. Lately.
He has.
What's the Da Vinci Codes, the last one?
Inferno.
Yeah, that was all right.
I started it and
All
fell
right.
asleep. I fell asleep.
Still haven't watched it yet.
Fell asleep.
I fell asleep right middle of it. Yeah. He's. I mean, everybody. You're not perfect. I mean, everybody's entitled to, I guess, a couple duds. Well, are we done with CFN, gentlemen?
Yes.
So, we're gonna go into the next segment, if everybody's ready. This is short and sweet. I can do it. Oh, you want it?
Wait, what are we doing?
We're done with CFN,
lethargic
right?
phonics?
We're gonna go into a little lethargic. Sorry, Rick, I knocked your stuff over.
Oh, that's just a bad case.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I got 3 little snippets here. Wait, those are about the wrong ones. Okay, and they're all really quick and they're all really short. So here we go. Be sure to pay attention.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Edge.
Edge who?
Bless you.
Oh, gosh. Rick, what the? Oh, my gosh.
I didn't realize how hard Rick laughed on that one.
He laughed almost all of them.
He did.
That is true.
The timing was good.
Oh man, this one's not reset. I have to reset this one. Then we'll start with this one then. All right, here we go.
C2E2 is April 6th through the 8th.
Yeah.
So, you know, Shannon will see you there.
What? What?
That's the funniest thing I said all day.
It's funny, Rick.
Yeah, so that's it for me, because
Kind of ended. There we go. Another knock knock joke. There we
Who's
go. Back up.
there?
Kenya.
Kenya who?
Can you feel the love tonight?
Wow. I hate to end on that
Straight
one,
from Kentucky.
but we're going to anyway.
Sorry, Scalf. Sorry.
Can.
The word was Kenya. Like it was actually Kenya.
Kenya.
So you had to say Kenya.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounded good.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't slow down is when I caught it.
Oh,
In
my
real
goodness.
time, it came across.
Yeah.
King.
Everything is better slowed
Yeah,
down.
it is. My gosh, it's so true in so many ways.
All right. Well, that means we get to go straight into the main. Wait,
Yeah.
Rick. This is the first of the month.
Yes. So guess what I have?
What do you have,
What?
Rick?
Nerd out to some nerd history.
There we
Oh,
go.
man.
All right.
We're gonna get taught.
Here's a soundbite. There is no soundbite because I burned my phone.
All right.
That's like okay.
But I got some cool birth. I just got 2 birthdays. Actually, 3. One is Stevie Wonder because he's awesome. 66.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Born in May.
Yeah.
we're
Have you
talking
ever
about?
seen that guy's house?
He has either.
I got jokes too. And happy birthday actually tomorrow to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Really?
So
biggest
44 He's-
Movie star of 2016.
Yeah. So
And 17.
Probably 17.
Yeah,
He's
so
off to a good
anyways,
start.
the last birthday I'm gonna leave it after I tell you this cool story of a Star Trek story that I got. And this might be cool because Presley's here. But you know how I am with girls and stuff. I'll be crying right now. I'm already getting emotional. Anyways, so Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Nichelle Nichols, right?
Yeah.
She was about to quit after season 1 because she didn't like it. She was into theater and all that stuff. So she was gonna tell Gene Roddenberry, "Hey, I'm done with Star Trek." And that
Isn't
same
it Zoe Saldana?
no. All right. So, anyways, so she goes to a fundraiser in Beverly Hills, and Gene Roddenberry. You guys know Gene Roddenberry?
Oh, yeah.
The
No, who
creator-
is it?
Creator.
Who's
the
that?
creator of Star Trek
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that. He's Star Trek's George Lucas, basically. So Gene Roddenberry's like, hey, you need to meet this person. And she actually met this really important figure in American history, and this guy actually told her to stay because her being a black female was really, really important at that time, because she wasn't like, she was a black woman with a position. She was a lieutenant.
Yeah.
She was communications officer. So she was super important.
Mhm.
Anyways, I'm going to tell you who this guy is
Okay.
in just a second. But this guy actually stayed up just to watch her. You know, the whole family stayed up just to watch her on TV, right?
Right.
So do you know who told Nichelle Nichols not to leave Star Trek? You're not gonna guess because it's
Bill Cosby.
no, no, dude. It's like really, really cool. Martin Luther King,
Really?
biggest Trekkie,
Really?
told her do not quit Star Trek
Huh.
because of how important she was.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Martin Luther King, there
That's
would
pretty
be
neat.
no Uhura in season 2 and 3 of the original Star Trek. So, I think it's cool having girls and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and how many black women she's inspired, and
Oh, yeah.
and
cool.
non-black women.
Yeah.
Because she was actually, she had a position in the show. She wasn't just like there for looks and
Right.
whatever, so. But anyways, so here's my last birthday. Dude, I got like a real bad burp in there that won't come out. I got one last birthday and some useless trivia about this. May 25th. Guess who's having a birthday May 25th?
My dad.
No,
He really is.
he is.
So you're right then.
Guess who's having a birthday May 25th?
Who?
Other than Scouts did.
No, Star Wars: A New Hope, Episode 4. So happy birthday, 40 years.
There's they've got the vintage collection out right now for the 40th anniversary.
No, they don't, because I'm
For
about to leave
toys.
right now.
I've got one hidden.
I need the gunk droid.
You have one hidden
Yeah.
At Wally?
Yep.
at Walmart.
Do you really?
I'm going there right after this. I'm going to unhide it.
Yeah. So all right. So I'm gonna give you some useless trivia
So much
about
fun.
Star Wars.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
Since it's the birthday, you guys know those Gillette
Razors?
Yeah. The women's one,
Mm-hmm.
the one that's like a little circle. That's what Qui-Gon was holding in Episode 1, using as a communicator.
Huh.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Interesting. Yeah. Cool, huh? So,
Okay.
You guys know Tarkin. Everybody knows this, but just in case one of our listener doesn't know it, Peter Cushing didn't wear boots during
Yep.
the filming of A New Hope. So he was actually wearing house slippers.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is cool because when they did Rogue One, they CGI'd him with the boots. So,
Actually, I think that whole scene where they're on the Death Star sitting around the table, I think they didn't have pants on.
house slippers, yeah.
They had
Yeah.
shorts on
Yeah.
the whole
That's
time.
what a lot of the ESPN
Actually,
guys do.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, some like if you Google it on some of the NBA and NCAA stuff, Charles Barkley sometimes does not wear. He wears the top part of his suit, not the bottom.
That's great. So,
But yeah, I
Really
think Peter Cushing said that the boots were just
yeah, they're
horrible
too
and
uncomfortable.
not comfortable.
So what do you guys think? That's pretty sweet.
pretty cool.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
That Uhura story was
Yeah, love it.
pretty legit, man.
Love it.
Yeah.
So happy 40th to Star Wars, which, biggest birthday.
Yeah.
Of all.
All right. That's good. Good history,
Hey,
nerd history there, Rick.
that's good stuff, man.
Yeah. We'll look forward to that next month.
Hey,
Every month.
every month,
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Wow.
no pressure. I gotta do my awful impressions sometime this month. 'cause I
Yeah,
haven't
that'll
done
come.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the
second or
helium
third.
one was. Yeah.
Been wearing that. Okay, well let's go
Nice.
ahead and move on to our main event,
Yo.
and we are going to be doing 2017 summer movie draft tonight. Let's run through this really quick and explain kind of how this works. What we're going to do is we're going to draft movies similar to like somebody would do in a fantasy football league or a baseball league or a.
You can also
Basketball
tie
league.
this to the fact that the NFL draft just happened.
Yeah.
That's true. The NFL draft did just happen, but mostly mostly I heard another podcast do this, and I just thought it was super cool and looked into it. And
I think
there's
it's a great idea.
there's several
Really
different
neat.
ways of doing this. I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, people have been doing it for a while.
Centuries.
Centuries. So we thought we would give it a try. So the object here is that you want to try to draft a movie that's going to get a large box office, but keeping in mind that how the equation works out is that you take after the movie has basically simmered down and has stopped bringing in bank, you will take that amount of money that it has made minus the budget, which, if it's a big movie, it's going to, be 200 plus mil. Or if it's like a little no-name movie, it might be like 5 or 10 mil. You minus the budget off whatever the gross income is. You then have to divide it by the Rotten Tomato score of how far from 100, meaning that if it has a Rotten Tomato score of, like, say, 90, you only have to divide that other number that you have by 10. And vice versa, if it has a Rotten Tomato of 10, you have to then divide that first number that you had by 90.
Wow.
So the Rotten Tomato is critical in this game. You can have a movie come away with $200, $300 million, maybe even $1 billion. If it has a bad Rotten Tomato score, it's going to drop the overall points that it's going to get big time. An example would be we did Age of Extinction that made about 1.1 bill. That'd be Transformers. About 1.1 bill, and which is a lot of money. Budget was like $250 million. You still are looking at $900 and some odd million dollars. But it came away, it had a score of 19, I believe, on Rotten Tomato, which dropped, you have to divide now by 81. And it had about 17 points is what it came away in this draft. Where if you take another movie that doesn't make quite as much money but has a higher RT, you're going to get 30, 40, 50 points. So there's a fine line here of us. We have to try to make sure that we're going to get a good movie. And the Rotten Tomato is actually an average of the Rotten Tomato between the critics and the user. So we're not just taking one or the other. If the critic is 90 and the user is 95, we'll divide that by, find the mean between the two and go 92.5. So that's the equation. Everybody understand?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're good?
Yeah.
So before we started, we actually gave everybody a number. We're going to actually see what order we go in.
We did?
Yes. Going from my left, Rick is 1. Now, this is just, we're going to see who actually gets an order. But we have to roll dice to see what the order.
Okay.
Because it's critical.
I was like, what?
The number 1 is going to be pretty important.
Yeah.
And if you don't get number 1, actually probably number 4 would be probably better than 2 or 3. But
yeah.
So we have a dice roller that is going to see what we are. To my left, we're going to start with Rick as number 1. Steve is number 2. Scott is number 3. I'm number 4. And depending on what number comes up first will be who picks first, who picks second, who picks third. And
So
this
I can
is
pick any movie
if you get number 1.
Okay.
Any movie that you want. And this is the snake draft, which means whoever goes first in round 1 is going to go last in round 2. Whoever goes last in round 1 will go first in round 2. Just like a standard fantasy league. So here we go.
Be patient with me because I don't get it.
If you would roll the dice, drum roll, please. Come on, roll 2 2s.
One.
Keep going. Was it on 1?
Yes, it was on 1. It was on 1 the first time.
But it wasn't officially.
It wasn't officially. It
All
was.
right, you know what? Do it again.
Yeah, re-roll.
Re-roll them both.
I need to bust out the affirmative action.
Oh, see, it's official. Number 2. So Stevie gets the number 1 pick.
Ah!
All right,
what?
roll again.
I thought that was for Rick.
No, I'm 1.
He's 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Keep on going. Keep on going. Oh, Stevie gets no. Keep on going.
What's she rolling for?
Now, this is the second pick. You were number 3. Jacob is the second pick. Keep on rolling. Now, this is between me
I don't
and
get
keep
it.
on rolling. This is between me and Rick. And 1. Rick is 3rd, which means I am dead last. This is the order in which we're picking.
I'm confused.
Just tell me. Yeah, just
Seriously,
tell
you
me,
didn't understand what I was doing?
No, I do not understand at all
He
what you
picks
were doing.
first.
Oh,
and you
okay.
pick second, and I pick 3rd, so...
Yeah. And then I pick last, and then we go back through it like a snake, just like a snake. So, Stevie, with your first pick of the draft.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, it's shocking.
Oh, I'll take that one, guys.
All right. There we go. Now we go to Jacob.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
You know what?
Dog.
This ain't even fair, dude.
That is great.
Spidey, Homecoming.
I need that list. Where's that list?
Rick, what is your number one movie? Or
Apes.
Apes. Yep. Let's see. So all my number ones, I'm down to. So I am at Dunkirk.
Really?
Shannon, that was
Well, I don't think that's going to be a huge. I think it's going to be a couple $1 million, but I'm hoping it has a high RT.
Yeah.
That's what I'm banking on. So now we're going to start round 2. See how quick this goes. And give me a second.
Yeah, but Jacob already picked Spider-Man. So. I mean,
Oh. Wow. I'm going to go, and again, this is another one that I don't think is going to have huge income, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it will have a good Rotten Tomato score, and that is Alien Covenant. So, back to Rick for your number 2.
don't care about this movie, but I think it might work out on Pirates.
There you go. That's not bad. I think that's going to have... everybody's going to go see it. I just don't know if...
The RT is going to be like 2, but you never know. That's the whole thing.
It might be better than the other ones. The trailer looks promising.
Yeah. Jacob, what are you thinking for...
Despicable Me 3.
Oh.
What?
You're such a dog.
Despicable 3.
I was hoping that would drop to me. That'd be 2 round ones for me. I'm off to a great start. Man. Okay. Is that to me then?
Yeah.
Is Stevie for his second pick?
I don't think this one has a great release date, but the track record of the director is high. And I think foreign money will be high.
I think I know what this is.
King Arthur is going to be my second.
Oh, that is not what I thought it was going to be.
I'm hoping,
But
I think I know what you mean there, and I hope that falls to me as well.
but I think that's got potential. I mean, that story's been told I don't know how many times, and it seems like it always people go and see it. So
The most anticipated movie in Britain right now.
all right, so you get a double pick here.
Oh yeah.
Now let's see, 1, 2, yeah, this is your double pick.
Okay.
Starting round 3.
I'm going to go with a dark horse here. No, I want to get this one because I just want to, even if it's bad, I want it to be in mine. And that's going to be Valerian.
Valerian, yep.
And the City of Thousand Planets.
I knew it. And see, I don't know how well it's going to do in the States, but I bet it kills.
I think it'll make tons of foreign money. I don't even know. The thing is, I think the fans will like it. I don't think the critics will because I think it's going to be out there. But hopefully
it's going to be
it
out
surprises
there.
me.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I mean, if the users like it enough, it'll bring up
Yeah.
the critics score. So I mean, may even it out. So all right, so there's Valerian for Stevie. So Jacob, we're back to you for your third pick.
Don't do it.
Cars 3.
Man, you're stocking
I'm
up on
telling you.
toys.
Let me scratch that one off too.
I will share why I think Jacob's strategy will work out well for me.
I know.
Now, Cars 2 did not have a very good Rotten Tomato, but it did get a lot of bank. So I mean, there you go. That was actually gonna be my. I got to.
take that one.
Are you cheating?
No, I'm not.
Rick, we need a number 3 from you.
It's between 2, so I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm just gonna go do this. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Dog, I was gonna pick
That's not bad.
that was my dark
Just-
horse.
Just throw it in with my Pinterest file.
Dude, if that would have fell to me, that I would have chose that one.
I know. It was either that or the other one.
I mean, think about all the other Snyder films. I mean, they
Yeah,
always
that's what I'm
make good
saying.
money.
They always make bank.
If this one comes out and somehow is good,
Eventually, DC's going to get one right here soon.
Yeah,
Maybe
they will.
next year though.
oh man, I can't believe I'm going to do this.
So this is
Do
your
it.
third, and then it's your fourth. That's the
Yes,
last
I got
round, right?
2 in a row here. Oh, I can't believe this. I'm going to have to go with
Do it.
The Mummy.
Oh, gosh dang
I know, man.
This is where
Let's
things
jump
start.
'em.
it. That was my pick.
Things get
That's
thin
the
here.
one.
And again, I don't know if that's going to be the last couple Tom Cruise movies have not made a lot of money. Just look at Jack Reacher 2.
I got one more though.
Yeah,
And
you do. It's your turn.
wait, I got my double
No,
pick
I'm
here.
saying
Oh,
I
I thought
got
I
one
thought
that's
you
gonna be
already
like
did
a
your double.
surprise.
And I hope I'm down to almost nothing.
Not gonna
And
watch
I'm gonna go. This is gonna be something I did not think I was gonna do, but I'm grabbing the last Transformers
Oh,
because maybe it'll be a 50.
It will make tons.
Maybe
of
it'll
bank,
be a
man.
50
it'll
Rotten
make
Tomato.
money. It's
It'll
gonna
make tons
money.
of money.
So Transformers is my the last night.
I want that.
So
It doesn't
there's-
matter if we don't go watch it, though, right?
No. So Rick, what is your fourth and final
Don't
pick?
be upset, but The Rock's in it, and I'm not gonna watch it. So
Yeah.
chances are it's gonna make a little bit of cash.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
Baywatch.
yeah.
I had that
was-
down as my around 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to take it, I was
It's on
going to
my
take it.
list.
So he's going with
Surprisingly,
Baywatch.
two of the other ones I
Yeah,
thought would be
Baywatch.
there.
I thought the Mummy nobody was gonna pick that.
Oh man, that was I wanted that one. I think it has some
My
sleeper
turn?
potential.
It is to scout for your fourth and final pick.
All eyes on me.
What?
It's a good one.
Yeah, I know.
It's a good one.
Really?
That's gonna make money.
Yeah, I knew that. I should have.
gonna
What
make
is
money.
that?
Tupac.
Tupac.
Buy
Oh
off it.
yeah, you're
It will
right.
make at least $100 million. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and it being a biopic, it'll
Yeah.
probably have high ratings.
Yep.
Stevie, what is your fourth and final pick?
This is the only one left on my board here, my draft board. Okay. Captain Underpants is going to be my fourth pick.
That was thinking
had
about
it
that
too.
one as well.
I have it marked as my
Yeah.
a possible round 4 if I had to take it.
Honestly, right before my round 3 is when I saw Cars 3. I was like, oh crap, I gotta put that on there.
All right, so let's just recap really quick. Stevie went first in this and grabbed pretty much probably the number one movie this summer, which would be Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's going to make some serious points in
Yeah.
this game. He followed that up with King Arthur, Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets. And then his dark horse being Captain Underpants. That one could, you never know. That's kind of like that Diary of the Wimpy Kid
Yeah.
movies. I mean, families are going to go see that. Jacob started off with Spidey Homecoming, which is that might be 2. I don't know.
That might be 1.
I don't think it'll outdo
I don't think it'll be
Guardians.
I don't think it'll outdo Guardians.
But it's going to be huge.
yeah.
It's going to be huge.
It'll make tons of foreign bank too.
Yeah. He followed that up with Despicable Me 3, Cars 3, back-to-back CGI kids flicks, which they're both going to crush. And then ended it up with a nice family movie about a rapper that's been shot. All Eyes on Me. That's a good group. I mean, both of those really good. Rick, you
What?
suspiciously or unexpectedly took the Apes
I was
movie.
expecting you to take Despicable Me.
Yeah, that's
3.
what I thought.
No.
That was in my
I
round
know,
one.
but you took it before I.
No, I didn't.
It's probably gonna be one of the top 3
I knew you were gonna
summer films
pick Apes just for the fact that
domestically.
you're an ape guy.
I
You
love.
picked Apes, followed it with Pirates, followed it with Wonder Woman, followed it with Baywatch.
For me, it was a toss-up between All Eyes on Me and Baywatch, and he took Baywatch. So that's
Now,
why
Pirates
All Eyes on
might
Me.
be a surprise.
It might
It could be.
Yeah,
You know
We've
it's going to
not
make
had one
money.
in a while, and it's
It's
got
gonna make
some of
money.
the originals back.
Yeah.
Has good cast.
And early, I read this somewhere. They're saying that it's going back to like episode 1 and 2. That it doesn't resemble 3 and 4 at all. 3 being kind of,
Yeah,
the story
just-
got
yeah.
really complicated and
Real-
crazy. 4 was just kind of just weird in a lot of ways. Anyway, I think it's gonna be decent. And then I started off with Dunkirk, followed up with Alien, The Mummy, and Transformers the last night. There's a couple on there that I don't know. So basically, we're gonna wait till sometime in August when all these movies have simmered down. We'll then do our little equation, figure out what the points for each movie is, total them up, and we will have a winner. At which time we will award that winner with something, or maybe we'll just make the loser do something, or maybe both. First place will get something, and last place will have to do something. But going through this list, guys, I mean, now that we're kind of like looking at the summer movies, anything stand out to you that could possibly be a sleeper, something that we didn't really talk about?
Well,
3 Idiots.
You mean 4 Idiots?
That's the name of.
that's what should be
Oh.
our podcast.
Yeah, 4 Idiots. Anybody see anything for the 47 meters down?
No.
I watched the previews.
Yeah, I was
for
reading
that.
a little bit. Mandy Moore.
Yeah, they're they're in a shark cage that gets cut loose from the
No way.
goes down in with great whites, and they're trapped basically 47 meters.
I'm
down.
interested in this Enter the Warrior's Gate.
You don't care.
So which one's that, Scalf?
It is Enter the Warrior's Gate.
Okay, I don't have it on my list, so
Let me see here. Enter the Warrior's Gate. When does it come out?
well, while we're waiting on that one, I will tell you there's another one that I had it on my list as a possible round 4, but I didn't want to take it because I don't think it'll do very good. But Baby Driver, has anybody seen?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
That's Edgar Wright's next.
Yes, it's an interesting concept, being that basically, well, number one, it's kind of like a heist flick, like he's done those before, but the driver that's the main drive guy for this heist, he's got a running, what do you want to call it? Basically, like a playlist going throughout the entire movie.
Comes out this weekend.
What does?
Enter the Warrior's Gate.
That sounds like Asian.
It is.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not racist.
No, you're not.
Okay.
So, let me find a synopsis. Epic fantasy adventure meets martial arts action in this thrilling film written by Luke Besson and Robert Mark Kamen.
Luke Besson, huh?
After a mysterious chest opens a gateway through time, teen gamer Jack is transported to an ancient empire terrorized by a cruel barbarian played by Dave Bautista. Jack will need all of his gaming skills as he battles to defeat the barbarian, protect a beautiful princess, and somehow find his way back home.
Really?
Could be. Rick, what do you think about there's a little PG-13 horror flick coming out in June called It Comes at Night? You seen the previews to that?
No.
Or Amityville: The Awakening.
No.
Those look like...
Not interested.
Not interested.
No. You want me to
I'm
tell you?
really interested in Dunkirk.
I am too. That would have been my...
Yeah.
Shannon stole that one.
What? It's my...
I had that in round 1.
Yeah. My 4 round ones were Planet of the Apes, Dunkirk,
Because my
Spider-Man.
thing is, you can bet on... what's the director's name? What is it?
What?
The director.
The director.
of
I know. Why
Why
can
is
I
it not?
think-
Yeah, no, why is it not in my
Interstellar,
brain
Christopher
right now?
Nolan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
His track record is so good.
It is.
Interstellar did... It was like 70s.
Yeah,
Like,
but
it
still.
lost a lot of credit.
Yeah, but like even as like a low one for him,
Yeah, that is one of his lows. I mean, a lot
it's
of his
just like
others.
a Marvel movie right now has such a phenomenal track record
Yeah.
that it's. I mean, with 66% being the lowest
Mm-hmm.
out of 14 films, you
Yeah.
can pretty much bank. I mean, they're going to get one wrong here. I mean, just soon because I mean you can't have that. You know,
Yeah.
but you can count on it's going to make money and it's going to be
Yeah.
and people will like it. Like cartoon movies, I think are the same thing. You see so many movies like Baby Boss or Boss Baby, whatever it's called, make tons of money.
Yep.
So I mean, that's
And
why.
yet- Why didn't you go for the Emoji Movie for your fourth and last one?
Comes
Because I
out
wanted
now.
all eyes on me.
Oh, okay.
that's why I think Scalp might have the winning ticket here.
He may have the most consistent.
Yeah.
I don't think the Emoji Movie is going to do very well.
I don't think so either.
Who knows?
But you know what? I would have swore that
'Cause it
Baby
was
Boss was going to
originally-
stink.
Emoji Movie was originally going to be in August, but they switched it with Dark Tower.
And that makes sense.
So
Yeah, and there's another movie on June 16th that I'll probably watch before Cars 3, which I will not watch. And that is The Book of Henry.
Oh, yeah.
Comes out on June 16th.
Mine,
I don't think it'll make
What
any
is-
money.
What is
but
that? Again?
That's Colin Trevorrow's film that Naomi Watts is in it. I mean,
Yeah.
looks really cool.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
it is.
if you watch the trailer,
Watch trailer.
you'll get it. But I have it down. It comes out in limited release on June 16th. When's its official?
I don't know. Yeah, I have the same thing.
So it'll be out sometime this summer, probably, but maybe limited on the 16th. Let's see, another one that Goldie
Who is
Hawn is
it?
actually in a movie this summer. The
Who?
one Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
You probably don't know who that is.
And I think probably the worst month to release a movie
Yeah,
with Amy Schumer.
yeah. So it's a Schumer flick, and but I don't think she's been in a movie for like
She's been Schumann.
Like 20 years.
I don't think she's that funny.
Who, Schumer?
Am I the only one? Like,
I'm not a real big fan.
I don't care about her.
I just don't see.
I love Goldie.
Like her.
Goldie Hawn. Yep.
I was watching the trailer for what was it? Snatched? Is that what she's
Yeah,
in?
that's this one.
That's her name.
And I'm just like, why? What?
She
Those
doesn't
are just
rise up.
generic jokes.
She doesn't rise up to like the Kristen Wiig or what's her face that my wife loves.
It almost seems like she's trying too
Big lady.
hard.
Big lady?
What's her?
From Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Oh,
Gosh, I see how horrible I am
Yeah.
with names right now.
oh my,
Melissa McCarthy.
yeah.
Like those. I mean, even when they're in like bad movies, they're still
Yeah.
really funny.
Yep.
But I've not seen Amy Schumer be like that yet.
Yeah, I don't.
Hey, what about Atomic Blonde? Like, I don't know anything about it, but
No, neither do I.
Assassin movies are
Assassin movies,
huge this year.
I mean,
July 28th.
she annoys me. a little bit, not gonna
Charlize,
lie.
yeah.
Oh, that's Charlotte. Oh, okay. I don't know. What do you guys see the previews for the House, the next Will Ferrell
Yes.
comedy?
And Amy Poehler.
Yeah, I want so bad to want to like it, but I don't know. It doesn't.
The movie I'm looking most forward to with him is his Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock
movie.
Holmes, yeah. About the time that I'm almost ready to, and why do all comics have this rise and fall?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
almost
they do.
impossible for a comic to stay. I mean, you saw Jim Carrey do it. You saw Sandler do it. He was huge, and now he's, still
Huge.
huge. And now I think Farrell is into that. I mean,
Yeah.
he's now slipping. I mean, now you'd almost say that, John C. Reilly might be a higher movie star than I don't know. Riley's great though.
No, he's
John C.
hilarious.
Reilly.
Oh my
He-
god.
Good in Kong.
Yeah,
Yes.
he can. do
he's
anything.
really good in Kong.
He can play serious roles. Anyway, yeah, that'll be good. Does that come out this year? When's that come out? Is that Christmas?
What?
The Sherlock.
I don't know, but just the whole idea of it to me is really really funny.
Those two guys, yeah. Anything they do,
Oh my.
because I know that they've been talking about, or not they, the internet's been talking about a Step Brothers too, which, yeah. All right. Is there any more? Is there any more movies here that we want to talk about?
Alien Covenant.
Well, yeah, I got that.
Did you get that?
I got that. Pretty excited about that. Which, by the way, I did order the Alien anthology. Oh, which, by the way, Scalf, I showed you that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to $24.99 off Amazon.
Really?
All 4 films, Blu-ray discs, both theatrical and then the director's cut. And then it comes with 2 behind-the-scenes Blu-rays, about 50 hours worth of footage, all for the low price of $24.95.
I would get that, but I already own the 2 best ones.
See, so do I, but I went ahead and got that anyway. Just
Okay.
because, well, actually, you've got them on Blu-ray. I just had them on DVD.
$25 isn't bad though.
For 4 movies and all that content.
Alien anthology.
Here, you guys
I don't
talk
own
about it.
any of them right now. And I need to own at least a.
Where's he
It's a nice little.
Do you
Nice
bring
little
that just to
set.
show people?
See, but there's only 2 that I include that are still supposed to be in there. I wish they would ignore it.
It's true. I mean, there's 2
It's
films
3
that are great,
yeah.
2 films that
It's only
were
1 through
huge
4.
disappointment.
Wait. We're not even gonna bring up Alien versus.
No, those
It's
don't,
not even in that.
No, they don't even include
Sorry,
that.
Scal.
It's all right.
Pick a random rapper and put him in a movie.
But there was it comes with a little booklet that you can read about it.
I mean,
but
3 wasn't bad, but compared to 1 and 2,
1 and 2 are just great.
and then I think Prometheus is better than 3 or 4. And to me, it's just 1, 2, and Prometheus.
There's
Really,
4 in there.
yes.
4's in here.
So how come? You guys might know this. Why did James Cameron direct the second one? Why didn't Ridley Scott direct the second one?
Ridley Scott's for the longest time he wasn't real big into sequels.
Right.
It wasn't until later on in his, I think one of the first ones he thought about doing was Gladiator 2.
Oh, okay.
In fact, there's a script,
I was gonna say, yeah, I was just gonna
For
say
that.
they've got
but for a
one.
long time he's wanted to do you know.
I think I've heard it takes place in the afterlife.
Well, I mean, except for, you know. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
He was commissioned by the gods to go back and try to destroy a little upstart group of people called Christianity. That's what seriously.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Yeah, he was being commissioned to go back and destroy Christians. Because, yeah. I mean, if you know Ridley Scott's he's not the biggest believer.
No. Well, are we done with movies, ladies and gentlemen? Mostly just gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have too. I love it.
This summer, I mean, we got at least 12, 15 films here that are.
Two of mine I'll have a good idea here in May.
Oh, man, yeah. There's some good ones.
I won't get to know my first. Well, most of mine aren't even in. I don't even think I have any in May, do I?
It don't look like it.
Nope.
So we'll keep tabs on that, and like I said, we'll come back in August and we'll see who the overall winner is. So let's wrap that up and move on to our next segment that we like to call "Bring the Jokes."
Bring the jokes. What?
Yeah. This is not a requirement from everybody, but I mean, just whatever you can find off the internet.
It doesn't have to be.
That's somewhat clean. And thank you, Scout. And so I got one I'm going to start off with. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. Now don't overthink this one. And actually, I got it.
Oh, believe me, I won't.
Some of these you're going to have to think about, but this one don't think about too much. So, who is the opposite of Christopher Reeves? Rick, we haven't even started yet.
Already going.
Christopher Walken. All right.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
That's wrong.
That was not bad. That was not bad.
Wow. Hey, guys.
Yes, Steve.
I won't do that one. A man walks into a bar, except it was a metal bar, like a pole, so he got hurt.
We said that one already.
No, it was a little different. This is on a different page.
Are you going back to your?
I'll just go and do another one. Hey, ask me if I'm a tree.
Are you a tree?
No.
Scalf, any knock jokes for you?
So
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Art.
R2.
R2D2.
wow.
Not very good. Hey, what's ET short for? Because he's only got those little legs. You get it?
Oh, I got
You
it.
get okay.
Hey, roses are gray, violets are gray. I'm a dog.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Yoda.
Yoda
Oh, wait,
who?
Did I do this one? Yoda Leahy who?
Yeah, you might have done that one.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Ewok.
Ewok who?
Ewok the door. Wet me in.
Ewok the door. This is not so much a joke; it's just kind of like a pun. But I'd like to see this kind of like on the side of their building. But atheism, it's a non-profit organization. I thought that was cool.
That's good. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator. Work that one out later.
Work that. Scalf. No.
I don't have any.
space.
Okay.
Dead space. Fill it up.
All right. What's orange and sounds like a parrot?
What?
A carrot. Come on, I like that one.
That's a good one.
Why is Yoda such a good gardener?
Why?
Why?
Because he has a green thumb.
Oh gosh.
And why can't you count on him to pick up the tab?
Why?
Because he's always a little short.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, what did Grandma give little Ben for Christmas? Nothing. She died on Thanksgiving.
Oh my gosh. Hey, how do you keep 3 idiots in suspense?
How? That's a good one.
That's like your knock one from last week, Scalf.
That's a good one.
Jabba the Hutt is fat.
How fat is
How
he?
is he?
So fat, Obi-Wan took a closer look and said, "That's no moon." I don't know.
Oh man. All right, I got a Batman one here. This one. Okay. You ready? You ready?
We're gonna lose listeners with this one.
I don't think so. What do you call it when Batman skips church?
What?
Christian Bale. You get it?
Oh, I get it.
I love that one.
Hey, what do you call a white guy surrounded by 5 black guys?
What?
A family friend paying a visit. That's all it is, guys.
2 Jawas walk under a bar.
Because they're little.
All right. So you got 2 whales. We're doing bars here. So 2 whales walk into a bar. The first whale says, the next whale says, "Shut up, Carl, you're drunk."
Hey, what's funnier than this joke?
What?
Women's rights.
Wow!
Oh my god.
It's an anti-joke, not meant to be funny or correct.
It's
Wow, that's wrong. We went from
So-
0 women listeners to
so
0.
direct all the emails to
Steve.
Steve at Nerd Outcast.
My wife approved of that one. She laughed for a long time.
Hey, my granddad has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban at the San Diego Zoo.
Hey, that one's gonna get like a PETA mad, so we're both in bad trouble.
That's kind of true, yeah. Well, let's offend these guys too. Hey, I asked my North Korean friends how it was there. He said he couldn't.
It's all right.
wait,
I do it all the
It's
time.
gone. It's gone. The punchline was that he said he couldn't complain. So anyway. Anybody else?
I got a racist joke.
Oh, jeez.
No.
I already have to.
No,
edit. No, I don't.
It's not bad.
Well,
It's a question.
this can't be worse than
Alright.
Stevie's.
Yeah, it's not. That's why I said, well, if he said that one, I can say mine. If you have a Puerto Rican and a black in a car, who's driving?
The cop.
Oh,
I love that joke.
oh man.
Uh,
Oh man, I don't think I can do this. What do you call a magic dog?
And he does it.
what?
A labracadabrador. That one was tough.
Hey, a horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?" The horse says, "I have cancer."
Wow!
Oh my gosh.
What's the labracadabra? What is
What?
This one's okay. Feel free to pause the podcast or skip forward 10 seconds.
Okay.
Rose, no, I can't. I can't, man.
Even with the warning.
Oh. No.
Just do it.
I do have one here that I'm not going to read.
Roses are red, violets are blue. No one cares because you're adopted.
Oh my gosh.
That's great.
Man, yeah, see. That's kind of like the same reason why orphans don't play baseball.
Why?
Because they can't find home. Yeah, you're going to have to edit. You're going to have to edit that. Oh, man.
Oh, that's great.
All right, start from here. 3, 2, 1, here. Hey, last night, me and my wife watched 3 movies back to back. Luckily, I was the one facing the TV. Oh. Yeah. Really?
What's the labracadabra?
What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabrador. Labrador. A labracadabrador.
That's wrong.
Yeah, so anyway. Woo, yeah.
I better stop while I'm behind.
Yeah. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another Bring the Jokes, which is just kind of a barrage of offensive. And I got one I'm going to tear. I'll tell it off the air. It's, yeah.
I should have told a few of mine off the air.
But anyway, that's what we have there. So You guys have any randomness for this week?
I do.
One last.
I do.
Did I not bring my?
You didn't bring your randomness?
You better.
Idiot.
Look it up real quick.
No, I had it all written out.
Oh.
Yeah. What you got, Rick? Little randomness here.
Little randomness. Don't forget for those of you who have kids, Regal does the summer movies.
Yes.
So they're all PG
Cool.
and some are G. So they're doing they're for $1. Did I say that already? Summer movies for $1 at Regal. Lego Batman, Storks, Happy Feet 2, SpongeBob, Kubo, Sing, Secret Life of Pets.
Which, by the way, Kubo, really good.
Was that good?
That's on
I've never
Netflix, and
seen
I
it.
finally got to catch it. I thought it was really good.
Kung Fu Panda 3, Trolls, which is one of my all-time favorite cartoon movies.
Yeah, that's weird.
Rio 2, haven't seen it. Monster Trucks, I tried watching it with the kids.
Yeah.
That movie was so lame. It's not even funny.
Not even funny.
Like it was like really, really bad. So don't watch it.
How bad was it?
It was really bad.
Oh, okay.
Don't watch it. So you can go check those out with your kids for $1 at Regal.
Or for free on Netflix.
Yeah, but you know.
I don't know. I did the summer movie thing a
They're
couple
great.
times. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Cool.
All right.
I have one here that I saved for randomness. The headline goes, "The robotic brain surgeon will see you now." Okay. This drill that has been designed, scientists have revealed a robotic drill that can cut the most sensitive brain surgery down from 2 hours to 2.5 minutes. The machine developed by the University of Utah is being hailed as a potential breakthrough in survival for brain patients, as the reduced time they spend in surgery will drastically cut the chances of infection.
2.5 minutes?
Yep. Yep. It can make one type of complex cranial surgery 50 times faster than standard procedures.
See?
It's crazy.
Robots. Robots.
That's it for me.
It's what's that one robot that does it's called not Lazarus, but
The medic droid.
no, it's got
Star
like a
Wars?
biblical name to it. No, I mean right now. It does like prostate surgeries and stuff. I work with a guy that he actually went up and had cancer removed with that. Oh, it's not Lazarus, but it does have like a biblical name they call it. Not the Moses robot. Something. Anyway. Yeah, good story, Shannon.
I'm fascinated.
Scalf, you got any randomness?
Yeah. So have you guys heard about this little thing called Aadhaar
Odd horror.
in India?
No.
I think that's one of my customers out on the road. Hard.
So basically,
I haven't
it
heard of
is. Is what?
You still got the joke?
It took a second.
So basically, it is a Aadhaar number is a 12-digit random number issued by the Indian authority to the residents of India after satisfying the verification process laid down by the authority. Any individual, irrespective of age and gender, who is a resident of India may voluntarily enroll to obtain Aadhaar number. Person willing to enroll has to provide minimal demographic and biometric information during the enrollment process, which is totally free of cost. An individual needs to enroll for Aadhaar only once, and after deduplication, only one Aadhaar shall be generated, as the uniqueness is achieved through the process of demographic and biometric deduplication. So the demographic information they take is your name, date of birth verified or age declared, gender, address, mobile number is optional, and email ID is optional. Biometric information they take is 10 fingerprints, 2 iris scans, and facial photograph. Aadhaar number is verifiable in an online, cost-effective way. It is unique and robust enough to eliminate duplicates and fake identities, and may be used as a basis/primary identifier to rule out several government welfare schemes, and programs for effective service delivery, thereby promoting transparency and good governance. This is the only program of its kind globally wherein a state-of-the-art digital and online ID is being provided free of cost at such a large scale to people, and has the potential to change the way service delivery functions in the country. Aadhaar number is devoid of any intelligence and does not profile people based on caste, religion, income, health, and geography. The Aadhaar number is a proof of identity, however, it does not confer any right of citizenship or domicile in respect of an Aadhaar number holder. Aadhaar is a strategic policy tool for social and financial inclusion, public sector delivery reforms, managing fiscal budgets, increase convenience, and promote hassle-free people-centric governance. Aadhaar can be used as a permanent financial address and facilitates financial inclusion of the underprivileged and weaker sections of the society, and is therefore a tool of distributive justice and equality. The Aadhaar Identity Platform is one of the key pillars of the Digital India, wherein every resident of the country is provided with a unique identity. The Aadhaar program has already achieved several milestones and is by far the largest biometrics-based identification system in the world. Aadhaar Identity Platform, with its inherent features of uniqueness, authentication, financial address, and eKYC, enables the Government of India to directly reach residents of the country in delivery of various subsidies, benefits, and services by using the resident's Aadhaar number only.
So, you want us to talk about that?
I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. What about you, Steve?
It's interesting.
It's very, yeah. It's basically a whole registry of every person in whoever takes Aadhaar.
Yes. And they're saying you have to take it or not get benefits
it's
from the government?
obligatory right now, yeah.
Well, sure, right now.
Right now, it's,
Seems like
It's
I've
not mandatory.
heard this story before.
Yeah, it seems like it's been said that it would happen a long time ago.
Maybe it's in a book or
Yeah.
something?
Might be some, some ancient book
Yeah. Like,
written by a guy named John.
yeah. Stuck in with like 66 other
Yeah.
books?
Yeah.
Or 65
That
other books?
stood the test of time
Yeah.
and scrutiny.
Rhymes with Schmeibel?
Yeah.
Survival.
Something like that? Huh. I don't see now. I don't even want to do mine.
Well-
Scalf, you kind of.
I kind of what?
I don't want to talk about mine now.
Well, I mean, before the age that we're living in, the time that we're living in, people were like, well, we might as well just get into it. The stuff that happens in Revelation can never happen. It's never going to happen. But, we're seeing some of it happening right now,
I mean, the technology
The fact
exists.
that they have this identification process is just one step closer to, what the Antichrist is going to use.
Yep. We're going to all be marked around the forehead with a barcode.
No, we won't.
Well, yeah.
Well, it doesn't say anything about there being a mark on a person. It's a card that you get, and that card can be used as identification purposes.
And then they're going to slide it underneath the skin of the back of your hand.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's
On the right
Eventually.
hand.
it's going.
Mm-hmm.
It's going that way. Of the right hand?
Yeah.
Anyway. Good story. Scalf. Hey, anybody know about the blood falls in Antarctica? I've
No.
actually never knew about this. It's been around since 1911 when it was discovered by some people. But anyway, there's a blood waterfall in Antarctica that has been kind of a mystery for years, and they've now kind of think they've explained it. Still makes it a little creepy. Number one, it's a flowing waterfall in sub-zero temperatures, which is kind of rare. and the other thing is that it's kind of like a bright red. At this point, they're basically saying that the blood red color comes from the iron in the salt, which then reacts with the oxygen in the landscape, turning the color, the red, kind of like leaving a piece of iron outside that rusts in a rainstorm. Still doesn't discover why the thing is actually flowing in sub-zero temperatures. It has something to do with the energy expanding from the freezing process does itself release some heat, enabling the salt water to stay liquid. This facilitates the movement of the liquid, and then the end product would be the blood falls. For this reason, the Tyler Glacier now holds the distinction of being the coldest known glacier with a flowing waterfall on it. Of course, this waterfall, like I said earlier, was discovered in 1911 and has been a site for curious people for many, many years, and I've never, ever seen it. But there's kind of a picture of it for everybody. Looks kind of gross.
It's kind of cool.
But I guess it's been doing that for well over 100 years now. And so there you go. I don't know why it took so long for them to kind of explain that, but
That's really cool.
that's just kind of weird. That's some weird randomness. So,
Yeah, it's really neat.
are we done?
Yeah. Hey,
Our random what?
some useless trivia. You know what George Lucas's least favorite Star Wars movie is?
What?
Empire Strikes Back.
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Yeah. That's like my favorite one,
He admitted to that?
depending on my mood.
Okay.
Yeah. And Lando was supposed to be a clone originally.
And he wasn't. We sure about that?
Billy D.
Yeah.
Billy
Very
D.
happy about that.
Billy D.
Did anybody ever see Billy D stand up at Celebration? Seems like I always saw him sitting down.
He walked on stage.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I saw like more people would come out, people would stand up, and clap, and he would.
I think he was
Stay
just
sitting
too
down.
chill.
Yeah, that's probably.
It's Billy
Probably.
D.
Yeah,
He can, yeah,
he can do that. Was he wearing a cape? I couldn't tell.
works every time.
Yeah, blue. I know that reference.
All right, randomness is now closed. Let's move on to the final
Last segment
segment,
of the night.
and of course that would be none other than the segment that we like to call.
All right. Siebel Truth Time. Oh, I always love
Civil truth
following that intro.
gets easier every
Yeah.
week.
It fits
don't it?
you.
I mean, it does. It does. That's what I sound like. I'm going to ask a question here and hopefully get some response, because this what we're going to talk about tonight is just more response. I mean, it's probably not going to take long, but we're approaching the start of the summer movie season. In the last few years, those have usually been marked by a superhero film.
Yes.
As we know, Marvel's 14 films in, not including the one getting ready to come out, made tons of money, liked by critics, and mostly, for the most part, fans alike. So I'm throwing this question out there because the debate is eventually it's going to go the way of the Western, which is very possible. Why do you think superhero stories resonate with people so well? Because we know at this point it's beyond fanboys.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
fanboys alone can't carry films unless it's Star Wars. Because because comics were huge, but for a long time it was like, it was a segment of people, but not a huge thing. So why do you think now superhero stories resonate so much with people?
I think there's a few things. I think one is the fact that it's an escape from reality. And another thing I think is in general, these are some troubling times for people. And so they like to see, it's kind of the Robin Hood thing. They want to see a savior, a person rescue people from doom and destruction.
So they want to believe in a power that they can't understand. They searching for that.
I think deep down humanity does seek that. They just don't realize it.
Yeah. I mean, whether you're a Christian or not, you see Iron Man and there's like hope there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, maybe Tony. I mean, when you're in that movie watching it, it's like, hey, I have hope that Iron Man is gonna come in and save so and so, and
And every time that the hero saves the day, everybody cheers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, people do like the good guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing to think about, because for the longest time nobody thought that these would ever work. I mean, up until technology, got it. There were very few success stories other than like Superman 1977. I mean,
yeah.
James Wan, the director of Aquaman, was asked the same question, because everybody gets, if you're directing a film like that, or helping create one, you get asked that question: why are these things so popular at the moment? And this is his quote. He says, "I think a big part of it is because we're finally at the point where we can actually tell these larger-than-life stories and have the technology to make them work. That's one factor, that we can create these whiz-bang visuals to go with the story. And ultimately, superheroes say a lot about the society we grow up in. Pretty much all the good superheroes have some kind of social commentary about why they are who they are. It teaches values, and so it's a very important thing. On one hand, it works on a surface level because it's super incredible to watch from a visual feast standpoint. But on another level, it works on a very human level. And he says, it works on a very human, emotional level, and I think it makes it fun for us." So I thought that was a very interesting quote. He brings out the technology aspects. He says good superheroes say a lot about the society we grow up in, and pretty much all good superheroes have some kind of social commentary, and it teaches values. Mm-hmm. And I think for the most part, he's right. So when I was thinking about this, I thought of when I think of the stories that I latch onto. Why are they such a big deal for me? Why? And this came to my mind because my wife brought up to me the other day when we got back from C2E2 that when we first got married, this stuff wasn't a big deal to me. So, and I thought, well, when we first got married, Star Wars was in the air, but you did not have X-Men 1, which started this whole bunch of films now. I never, in my wildest dreams, thought I would see a really good depiction of Spider-Man on screen. Never ever would I expect to see Thor made into a halfway serious movie that is cool, or Iron Man work. So all these, and I remember going to the Hooks drugstore in Mitchell when I was a little kid, and I'm not getting a whole bunch of family stuff, but my family didn't always operate the way that family should. So sometimes I would just walk. It was just like half a block away, and I'd walk to the drugstore, and I'd walk in. I'd go straight to the comic book section, and I would sit down, and I'd just start pulling those off the shelf. So for me, those were a release. Those were an escape. And so I thought about that, and and everything that everybody says is right. Troubling times, in all these things, everybody is going through so much stuff that they would like to think there's something beyond what they are going through, that they could believe in or hope in something that's different than their reality. Mm-hmm. And so one of the ones that really gravitates to me is Superman. Although I'm a huge Marvel guy and Spider-Man's my favorite, Superman was the one that I dressed up like when I was little. And so I thought I would try to tell his story a little bit just to see maybe there's even more to this resonating story here. So first, if you didn't know, let me just do a tiny little bit of the origin. I think most people listening knows of the story, but he was created by Siegel and Schuster, or Siegel and Schuster, two Jewish men, the early 1930s. They first created multiple characters of Superman. The first was a villain with telepathic powers, published in a short story called The Reign of Superman. A later, in 1934, with Russell Keaton, has a Superman that is a metahuman sent back in time as an infant, where he is found and raised by Sam and Molly. Yet another version, which was unpublished, was a crime fighter without any superhuman abilities. And then, and it later became another creation of theirs called Slam Bradley. But here's, and this is the first thing that I want you to latch onto here. So, how did it come to the Superman that we know? And so here's what they said. They felt that a virtuous character originating from Earth to possess superhuman powers would make the character and story seem less serious, inviting comparisons to humorous strongmen like Popeye. So they decided to make the third version a visitor from another planet. I think it's a... Okay, now let me take you through some of this other stuff, okay?
Okay.
Siegel and Schuster were both Jewish, writing this character during the Depression.
Okay.
So talk about a troubling time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of people struggling.
Sure.
So let's go through Superman for a second, and hopefully these hit you like it did me. So Superman is not from here, right? In essence, an alien sent by his father to save Earth.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes down to Earth, he is raised by two parents who originally had the names Mary and Joseph. Let's just throw it out there. Yeah.
Huh.
When he becomes of age, he travels to the Arctic wilderness to commune with his father. He begins his public mission at the age of 30, and that mission being to fight for truth and justice. Who does that parallel?
Christ.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, them being Jews, they did not base it off that.
Right.
But, they use Samson and Moses, but still, those are, as Christians, we know those, foreshadow Christ. But I think, when it comes to these similarities are unbelievable. That's why, and even Bryan Singer, when he made the 2006 Superman Returns, he being an atheist, a professed atheist, he said in an interview that you cannot make Superman without and make it right without the biblical aspects. So go back and watch that movie. It might not be your favorite, but go back and you'll see exactly the parallels between Superman and Christ. And in some interviews, he admitted it has to be in there for it to be the real story. Okay, so let me go to something else here, and then hopefully I can get this all to come together in a nice landing area. But Stephen Skelton is a guy who wrote a book. I forgot, but it's the Gospel According to Superman. A Christian guy. So he wrote this in an interview. He said, after watching Superman Returns back in 2006, Stephen Skelton talked with a non-Christian friend about the movie. He said, I can't stop thinking about it. Do you know what movie spoke more to me about Jesus than the Passion of the Christ? And the reason that this is because the Passion of the Christ was a straightforward presentation. It was obviously about Jesus Christ, and so it was easily dismissed by a non-believer. What Skelton gleaned from that conversation with this guy was the incredible power of film, and this is what he said, and I find this really cool. He said, it spoke to his heart before he realized what it was saying. It spoke to him about the one true Savior before he could reject that he needs one to begin with. So he was talking to an atheist about this, and that was the this guy is pointing out these things and why he liked this movie for this reason, and he came up with it. The movie was speaking to him things that he to the depths of who he was without really even knowing what it was saying. So it felt right to him, but yet the connections weren't made. That was to this even a deeper meaning. So I mean, or I thought that because I think there's something more, and not all of them, but the vast majority of them have good versus evil, and some do blur the lines, but still they're still good, and so I mean, I don't know. I think sometimes God uses different mediums to connect and to bring a message that maybe it's speaking to our heart, but we don't even realize why why it is. And I just wanted to throw out there, not even getting anything, not even using any scripture I could. I could go through there and give you every verse of Jesus that would we can draw parallels from Superman, but that's not why he was written.
Right.
But
well, I mean, I know me and you have talked about this. You and I have talked about this quite a few times. And I think one scene that sticks out to me, and I think it's Superman Returns, is when he flies Lois up and he says, "Do you hear that?"
I was going to mention that.
And she says, "No." And he says, "I hear everything. I hear it all." And so, what were you gonna say?
Well, yeah, because in that movie, when he leaves, she writes an article why the world doesn't need Superman, and wins a Pulitzer for it, or whatever. And at that point, he flies her up, after he returns, and he says, listen, what do you hear? She says nothing. He says, I hear everything. You wrote that the world doesn't need a savior, but every day I hear people crying out for one. It's one of my favorite quotes out of any comic book movie. Because it's so, it's so true, and I think sometimes, and just what you said earlier, these are resonating with people because so many. It doesn't matter how good you think your life is or isn't. There's trouble, and you go through stuff. There's always ups and downs. There's always relational issues, maybe financial here, maybe big decisions, health decisions. And I think there's always a part of us that wants to believe in something bigger than what we are. And so I just throw it out there, just to make these comparisons, just to, just really food for thought, not to even, land on anything, just, for our listeners and, here at this table.
Finding and building on that, people see God in ungodly type things. Meaning when I say ungodly, I mean like, you think when you get out of church or you get away from like that kind of stuff, it's like, okay, then it's just the world. But, I've got an uncle that, heard a Garth Brooks song that was written specifically for the Frequency movie. Yeah. And that song basically turned him to where he would start going to church, and basically he contributes that song to saving his life. And it's like, that was a Garth Brooks song that had really nothing to do with God or Jesus, but it had lyrics in there that spoke to him, and he saw it inside that song. And it's like, this happens every day. People are searching and see, God is there even when he's, you don't think he is.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that was in prison for 16 years, and I've never seen Spawn, or I saw it, but it was a long time ago, and he said he became a Christian because of Spawn. If you guys know why, tell me, because I have no idea why.
Yeah,
I've seen
I have no
Spawn,
idea.
and
Yeah.
He said that's the reason why he's a Christian, because of the movie Spawn. So,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what. I don't remember it, but God can use whatever He wants.
Yeah.
It's hard to really criticize. Everybody sees things differently. So what I see is not what you see, and vice versa. So some people might listen to this podcast and think it's hilarious, and some people may not.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously those
Yeah,
people
to
are
each his own.
stupid and they don't know what they're thinking. But
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But I can't say that. I can't
but
judge
they won't
them.
realize that.
No. So
We do, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. All
yeah,
right.
yes. I just wanted to throw it out there just some food for thought, just a way to, people. I think about why these things, resonate with people. Why will a Guardians of the Galaxy make billions of dollars? Why will Spider-Man make tons of money?
Mm-hmm.
There's reason for it, and it might not always, but right now it's resonating
Well, I mean,
with people.
the name of the movie says it all. Guardians of the Galaxy. They're guarding the galaxy. They're saving the galaxy. So, I mean, that's...
Mm-hmm.
And they're also imperfect people too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is also
right.
parallels.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. The apostles.
Yeah,
You know, we can all do great things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of us.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
No,
good.
that's cool.
Good seeable truth.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Always.
Good episode.
All right.
You know?
Anybody got anything else?
I don't. Why don't you go ahead and do the rundown there,
All right.
Scout?
Well, get in contact with us if you want. We would love to hear from you. Let us know that you're listening. Facebook.com/nerdoutcast. Feel free to add us on there. Like us, subscribe to our page. Write something down, post something, tag us. Go to our website, www.thenerdoutcast.com. Check out our email, nerdoutcast4@gmail.com. Send us some emails, give us some show feedback. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We're always looking for new ideas. Give us a call. Send us a voicemail, 812-297-8801. What are you doing? What was that for?
What? That's a little Steve Carell. Sorry.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's those are the ways that you can get in contact with us, see what's going on, see what we're doing, that sort of thing. So
Excellent. Well, once again, we thank everybody for downloading and spending some time with us.
yeah, give us a review on iTunes.
Sure.
So yeah, let us know how we can do better.
Yes.
We
All right.
might listen.
Is that it?
Yeah. Everybody have a good week, and we'll be back here another 7 days.
Bam.
Powder dry.
Woohoo!
What?
That's the funniest thing I said all day.